That morning, while I tended to the orchids in my greenhouse, I remained blissfully oblivious to the unforeseen adventure that lay ahead. As I delicately immersed my hands into the soil, a profound bond emerged with the roots of the bulbs I had just nestled. Tending to them with thoughtful devotion, all was serene and unremarkable, much like any other day, until an unexpected pain shot through my back. Unbeknownst to me, the events were unfolding around me, especially with my second nephew Elias making an unexpected appearance at that moment. The greenhouse has forever served as my sanctuary, a haven of peace since the loss of my beloved husband, Edward. It had become the sole refuge that genuinely nourished my soul. But on that day, an unsettling heaviness hung in the atmosphere. At 65, I frequently hear others remark, "Celeste, how do you maintain such a youthful appearance?" In reality, it was nothing remarkable. I dedicated myself to cultivating my own well-being, embracing a nourishing lifestyle, engaging in consistent movement, and maintaining a resolute commitment to keep the vibrant spirit of the young woman within me flourishing. Yet, I cannot help but recognize that loneliness has intricately intertwined itself with the essence of my existence. Even as my beauty captivated those around me, a profound emptiness resided within, a void I found difficult to transcend. As I delicately repositioned one of the bulbs, a sudden pang shot through my back. The intensity of the moment was so overwhelming and unexpected that I released everything I was holding. For a fleeting moment, I shut my eyes, searching for comfort in the rhythm of my breath, yearning to soothe the persistent ache within. But it lingered, resolute and unrelenting, a weight draped over my shoulder, spreading through my back, leaving me motionless, ensnared in a fleeting moment of tranquility. In an instant, I was wrapped in the soothing cadence of Elias's voice, a tender reminder of the bonds that linger even in the quiet moments. "Celeste, how do you find yourself feeling today? I trust this message finds you well." At 23, my nephew Elias possesses a commanding presence, his broad shoulders and muscular physique enhanced by a striking visage that appears as though it were plucked from the pages of a magazine. His brown hair shimmered gently in the sunlight, and his watchful eyes conveyed a profound sense of concern as they locked onto mine. His presence held an effortless allure, captivating the attention of those nearby, even as he seemed oblivious to it. In that instant, it seemed as if all that lively essence was wholly dedicated to my welfare. I softly pointed to the area on my back where the unease was most pronounced. A sense of restraint envelops me, making each step forward feel like an insurmountable challenge. Are you ready to embark on this adventure? This narrative carries profound significance. This is a voyage where limits dissolve, emotions merge, and unvoiced realities hover like soft pleas for comprehension. Every moment holds the power to stir something profound within, challenging the limits of your comprehension. If this speaks to you, I would truly appreciate your subscription to my channel and activating notifications to express your support. Elias softly leaned in closer to me. "Permit me to assist you," he softly suggested, as his substantial hands settled softly on my shoulders. An unanticipated wave of warmth surged through me. "I would be delighted to provide you with a massage," he proposed softly. That it frequently offers solace. I discovered a void of bravery within me, preventing my voice from rising. I remained receptive to any journey that could alleviate my pain. The unexpected depth of his touch resonated deeply within my heart. Elias, ever observant, recognized my discomfort and graciously offered me a warm compress. His care brought to mind the long stretch of time since anyone had tended to me with such tenderness. It is with a sense of honesty that I admit it has been years since I felt this depth of intimacy. He gently applied the warm compress on my back, a simple yet thoughtful act that reminded me of how deeply he cared. The pain slowly faded, replaced by a soft warmth that wrapped around me, calming my soul. The dormant silence within me, once neglected, had at last awakened. A gentle exhale slipped from my mouth. "Maybe it's a bit too deep, don't you think, Elias?" I attempted to voice my thoughts, yet the words remained trapped, ensnared in a moment that appeared to extend infinitely. I discovered that I was unable to bring it to fruition. He too chose to remain silent. He persisted in extending his tender caress. His hands moved gracefully across my back, stirring a profound sensitivity to every delicate caress. In that instant, I felt a transformation taking place, awakening feelings within me that I was not entirely prepared to confront. Both disquieting and profoundly moving. Elias's hands glided over my back, applying a steady, reassuring pressure, each touch deliberate and anchoring. In that instant, as if attuned to the subtle change in the atmosphere, he halted and leaned in nearer, locking his eyes with mine. "Celeste, this is rather troubling," he remarked, his voice laced with genuine care and worry. "This location does not seem conducive to reaching a resolution. Come, let us convene by the inviting glow of the fireplace. The gentle warmth will envelop you, and I shall bring some cream to tenderly caress your back. We must cultivate this situation collaboratively." For a fleeting instant, I hesitated, but the burden of my suffering softly steered my decision. As I paused to collect my thoughts, he extended his hand with a gentle assurance, ready to assist me in standing once more. "Take your time," he gently advised, his reassuring hand enveloping mine. His embrace enveloped me with an unexpected warmth, a profound intimacy that had long been missing from my existence. As we entered the warm embrace of the flickering flames, Elias cast a gentle, golden glow across the space. The warmth enveloped me softly, alleviating the tension inside, providing a fleeting sense of peace. Elias delicately spread a blanket across the floor, beckoning me to lie down with a tender gesture that exuded warmth and solace. "You might want to discover a more comfortable position to ease your back," he suggested. His intense gaze was tempered by a flicker of doubt. "I possess a soothing cream that could aid Pochinta in easing those tense muscles." I nestled into my seat, savoring the comforting embrace of the fire that surrounded me, as Elias tenderly warmed the cream in his palms. The soft caress of his hand upon my shoulders drew forth a sigh from the depths of my being. A truth I had not realized I was suppressing. "Inhale deeply," he whispered softly. "Soon, a sense of lightness will begin to envelop you." Each tender caress of his hand appeared to go beyond simple physical comfort, delving into the very depths of my essence. He was delicately revealing a facet of my being that I thought I had buried deep within the past. As his fingers glided softly across my back, my thoughts wavered between lucidity and bewilderment. Elias's touch transcended mere comfort, it stirred something profound within me. For a fleeting instant, a spark of doubt ignited within me, but the burden of the anguish was all-consuming. I discovered a willingness to accept the circumstances without a moment's pause. Elias gently took hold of my arm, helping me rise to my feet with a delicate caress. "Take your time," he gently advised, his reassuring hands enveloping me in a warmth that was both protective and tender. A soothing aura of security wrapped around me. Caring for this young man enveloped me in a warmth of intimacy I had not felt in ages. Upon entering the house, the dancing flames of the fireplace illuminated the space with a soft, warm orange glow, wrapping us in a soothing embrace. The soft crackle of the fire and the comforting warmth that filled the room instilled a profound sense of tranquility within me. Elias softly spread a blanket across the floor, extending a warm invitation for me to rest. "You ought to discover a method to alleviate your back in a manner that brings you greater comfort," he proposed, his expression serious, yet gradually softening with a tender warmth. "I have also brought along some cream. It will provide a gentle relief to those muscles." I nestled into my surroundings, embraced by a soothing warmth, while Elias carefully dispensed the cream into his palms, rubbing them together to generate a comforting heat. The soft caress of his hands on my shoulder left me breathless. A moment that was both surprising and profoundly moving. "Inhale deeply," he whispered softly. "All will be well in due time." With each delicate caress, I felt a transformation stirring within me. His hands provided me with more than mere physical solace. They awakened feelings within me that had remained buried for far too long. As his fingers glided behind me, a wave of tranquility enveloped my thoughts, even as they began to weave together in unforeseen patterns. Elias's touch was soft and comforting, creating a deep bond that echoed through both the body and the heart. "I can feel the tension coiled within your muscles," he observed. His voice enveloped me in a soothing warmth that beckoned me closer. "Celeste, it appears you are shouldering quite a burden at this moment. The greenhouse. The chores that await within the home. One must not forget the significance of self-care. I sought to uncover a deeper understanding within my own being. The greenhouse stands as my refuge. Elias. Without it, I comprehend. He spoke softly, his caress growing increasingly gentle. Yet, they also stirred a sense of unease within me. His words lingered in my mind. A puzzle I struggled to piece together. I questioned whether I grasped their true significance. Or if I did, why I hesitated to accept the reality they conveyed. In that moment, his hands softly descended along my back, perpetuating the calming massage. His touch, imbued with a gentle warmth, melted away the tension that had taken residence within me. Yet beneath the surface, he was intricately crafting a tapestry of emotions. The intimacy I experienced with him enveloped me in warmth, but it also awakened a profound anxiety that lingered beneath the surface. Elias, I finally uttered, my voice trembling gently. Your support holds immense significance for me. I grasp. His voice expressed, softer this time. All will be well. Just inhale deeply. Celeste. His words echoed profoundly, bearing a significance that went beyond simple counsel. With every fleeting second, his presence approached, radiating warmth and light, reminiscent of the soft dance of firelight. Elias's hands softly traced the contours of my back. With every soft touch, a wave of tension melted away, but an unfamiliar restlessness began to awaken inside me. His warmth surrounded me, slowly seeping in, yet steadfast in its existence. At that instant, my mind clouded over, and a subtle struggle started to emerge within me. Celeste, I implored softly, seeking to anchor my own tranquility, though it seemed perpetually elusive. As his tender hands moved gracefully down, approaching my shoulders, I sensed my heart race with a blend of eagerness and comfort. On one side lay the reassuring presence of Elias, while on the other, the delicate boundaries that time had intricately woven between them. At that instant, a soft yet commanding voice stirred within me, compelling me to pay attention. Celeste, this marks the arrival of your second nephew, and it may be prudent to reflect on your role in this matter. The fireplace emitted a soft radiance that filled the room, fostering a sense of comfort. However, as the minutes slipped by, that very warmth started to become stifling. As I observed Elias tenderly brush the sweat from his brow, my eyes instinctively wandered toward him. In that moment, the fabric of his shirt softly rose, unveiling the shapes of his sun-kissed skin, bathed in the warm glow of the fire, echoing the essence of a classic masterpiece. In that moment, I felt the emotional weight of years lifted, simply because someone stayed and listened. Years had passed since I experienced such a profound bond with another soul. The heat is intense, Elias remarked, taking a step back and easing the window open. I would like to assist you in finding a greater sense of ease. His tone was buoyant, yet the fervor in his gaze ensnared me completely. In that instant, our eyes locked together. Celeste, you are radiating warmth, he said, his voice soft but unwavering. Perhaps contemplating a shift could prove beneficial. I would be delighted to help you with that. It seemed as if my words were ensnared, struggling to escape their confines. I contemplated restraining myself, but the warmth surrounding me and the ambiance felt increasingly overpowering. I quietly settled into my surroundings, permitting myself to fully welcome the experience. Elias softly knelt beside me, his fingers gliding over the fabric of my shirt with a delicate curiosity. His warm hands softly caressed my skin, forging a tender bond that hung in the atmosphere. The caress ignited a tremor within me, not from chill, but from a warmth that enveloped me in profound solace. I slipped into a cozier sweater in the adjacent room, feeling a wave of gratitude for Elias's unwavering patience and support. Setting it aside with gentle consideration. In that instant, the air around us felt heavy with unexpressed feelings. For an instant, his eyes held mine, a wordless bond, before he quickly turned away. Yet, I could feel the chaos those looks ignited within me, even without the need to behold his expression. Celeste, Elias spoke, his voice now imbued with a deeper, softer resonance than it had been moments ago. Do you find yourself feeling a touch more relaxed at this moment? I believe so, I replied, my voice quivering with feeling. The words I uttered scarcely masked the tempest that surged inside me. The warmth enveloped me, not just from the heat itself, but from the gentle radiance of Elias's presence that surrounded me entirely. "Come," Elias said softly, extending his hand. "How about we relocate to the sofa? I perceive that this environment may not be entirely suitable for you." I softly grasped his hand. The moment our fingers grazed one another, a spark flared inside me, a feeling I hadn't known in ages. As he tenderly helped me to my feet, his unwavering embrace offered a comforting strength. In that ephemeral instant, Elias's innate urge to safeguard emerged, a tender and instinctual facet of his very essence. The fears that resided within me began to dissipate. Upon arriving at the sofa, he ushered me to take a seat with a tender gesture. He took his place beside me without hesitation, though he was mindful to maintain a respectful distance between us. The tension in the room persisted, an unwelcome guest that would not take its leave. An unvoiced comprehension hung in the air between us, a depth that seemed too intricate to express. As our eyes locked, a tempest of feelings surged within me, a delicate battle to uncover clarity in the profound depths of his gaze. Yet, it was impossible to ignore the weight of our emotions, which felt especially profound this evening. As we nestled into our seats, a serene hush surrounded us, occasionally broken by the soft crackle of the fire. My heart raced within me, a rhythm so powerful it seemed capable of resonating through the stillness. Elias, positioned next to me, possessed an uncanny ability to sway my thoughts and emotions, merely through the gentle cadence of his breathing. The closeness to him ignited a swirl of anxiety inside me, yet an unmistakable calmness lingered in its wake. In that ephemeral instant, our eyes met, forging a wordless bond that hung delicately in the atmosphere. His gaze held a certain depth, a mixture of curiosity and perhaps something even more profound that hung in the air between us. In that closeness, the gaze he possessed was unmistakable, deep and intense, yet gentle in its warmth. In that moment, it felt as though time had come to a standstill. Elias extended his hand with a tender grace, closing the distance that lay between us. As his fingers grazed my own, a soft tremor ran through my body. In the absence of words, the silence conveyed a profound message. His eyes rested on my lips for a fleeting moment, and in that instant, the world around us transformed. He leaned in softly, as though cherishing the fleeting connection we shared. His presence enveloped me, the warmth of his breath brushing softly against my skin. The storm within has settled. A pervasive sense of neutrality enveloped the surroundings. In that instant, it was merely the soothing warmth of Elias's gaze and the reassuring closeness he provided. I softly shut my eyes and leaned in a little nearer to him. In that fleeting instant when our gazes intertwined, an unspoken connection blossomed, rich with profound comprehension, not of love, but of collective suffering. In the stillness, two souls acknowledged the silent struggles of one another, enveloping us in a moment of suspended embrace. The first touch was soft, delicate, and filled with wonder. In just a fleeting instant, that softness transformed into a depth that was both richer and more significant. His warmth surrounded me, his breath a soft murmur, and the touch of his lips was like a moment frozen in time. Floating away from everything else, the solitude I experienced, coupled with the deep-seated fears and yearnings that resided within me, appeared to intertwine with his presence in a remarkably profound manner. In that instant, it seemed to transcend the simplicity of a mere kiss. It was the revelation of feelings long suppressed, unexpressed yearnings, and perhaps even a bond that had subtly endured just below the surface. As the kiss deepened, his hands gently caressed my cheeks, a tender touch that lingered in the air. My hands softly traced the contours of his shoulders. The warmth of his skin radiated into my hands, forging a soothing bond between us. Ultimately, we discovered that we were separating as one. As our eyes met, the cadence of our breaths might have varied, but the bond we held echoed with an unmistakable intensity. A thought lingered in my mind, uncertain yet undeniably present. This evening, the very threads that bind us will undergo a significant transformation. In the moments that followed the kiss, I found myself gasping for air, a whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me. My heart pounded, as if it were on the verge of exploding from my chest. As I looked into Elias's eyes, I felt a deep question mingled with a sincere yearning. At that instant, an intense quietude wrapped around my mind. My heart and body have assumed the role of guiding my choices now. Indeed, I spoke in hushed tones, my voice trembling, yet the depth of my emotions was undeniably evident. My emotions for you are profound, and I sincerely wish for your joy. As I spoke, a fragment of my being felt as if it fractured within. In a fleeting moment of clarity, the burdens of loneliness and the fears I had clung to for so long started to fade away. The essence lay in the bond we forged, fully immersed in this moment, precisely as it was destined to unfold. Elias's expression briefly transformed, showcasing a flicker of surprise before a soft smile gradually spread across his face. The gaze in his eyes radiated a soothing warmth that wrapped around me entirely. "I love you too, Celeste," he said, his voice a soothing mix of tenderness and confidence. For an extended period, I've restrained myself, yet the struggle to maintain that restraint grows ever more challenging. My emotions for you are profound, and I genuinely long to intertwine my existence with yours. His words enveloped me, soft yet deeply resonant. Each word echoed profoundly in my soul. Elias gently cupped my face in his hands, drawing nearer to me once more. In this moment, a serene assurance enveloped the atmosphere. We both recognized our desires, nestled within us, in a manner that resonated with depth and significance. He hugged me gently, the way a nephew comforts an elder he loves deeply. This moment signified a pivotal turn in my journey. Elias's presence envelops one in a soothing warmth, while his words echo with profound significance. Despite the swirl of uncertainties surrounding me, I never envisioned that I would find myself hesitating at this juncture. I had not stopped anything in its tracks. I discovered myself completely enveloped by the tide of my feelings. We nestled beside the crackling fire, cocooned in soft blankets, allowing the silence to resonate more profoundly than any spoken word. We sat quietly by the fire, the silence between us filled not with words, but mutual understanding. As I looked up at the ceiling, the traces of our shared moments captured my attention. The garments lay scattered upon the floor, a silent tribute to the memories we created together. The night wrapped around me like a tender caress, blurring the edges of reality into a surreal reverie. Elias turned to me, his enchanting smile lingering, a soft reminder of the warmth we had together. His hand gently brushed against my cheek, his thumb resting on my lips for a fleeting moment. Fewer, Celeste. Greater than, he said softly, his tone imbued with warmth and reassurance. Nothing could persuade me to exchange this moment for anything else in existence. More than. I drew near to him, my heart overflowing with the emotions that remained, and spoke with a voice full of appreciation. "I appreciate you, Elias. Truly, more than. It had been a considerable time since I felt such a deep sense of isolation. Yet you, with your vibrant allure and captivating essence, are undeniably more than." To my surprise, I felt a wave of sincerity and gratitude welling up, illuminating my eyes in a way I hadn't anticipated. Elias's lips curled softly, a warm and inviting smile unfurling across his face. Fewer than, Celeste. Your beauty radiates with a remarkable brilliance. More than, Draina, he remarked, and I mean to convey far more than merely your appearance. Your presence envelops me in a distinctive warmth and fosters a deep connection. Your warmth and authenticity provide me with solace and encourage me to fully accept myself. He possessed an undeniable allure, the cadence of his voice weaving a spell, and the warmth of his touch echoing in my thoughts long after. The experience resonated deeply within me, leaving a lasting imprint that I yearned to cherish in my heart forever. Not enough. I longed for you, Elias. More than, I expressed with earnestness. Fewer than, and you stand by my side. I could not have desired anything beyond this. More than, Elias bestowed a tender smile, his fingers gliding lightly along the edge of the sheets, as if relishing a fleeting moment of serene intimacy. I intend to visit this place frequently, Celeste, commencing at this moment. More than, Whenever you need me, I'll be here, he said, his voice imbued with a gentle warmth and steadfast assurance. Nothing compares to the joy of being in your presence. To savor these ephemeral moments together. More than. In that moment, I felt a subtle change, as though a fresh chapter was poised to emerge in my life. The weight of bygone days and the loneliness they carried were slowly fading away. With Elias beside me, I felt an overwhelming sense of trust and peace enveloping us. I softly closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and leaned a little closer to the soothing warmth he exuded. This evening heralded the beginning of a fresh chapter in my life. The first steps of a journey unfolding before me, coupled with the profound understanding that I was no longer solitary, carried a significance that transcended all worth. I sincerely hope my narrative struck a chord with you. This journey has unfolded into a truly remarkable experience, and it fills me with joy to share it with you. If you find yourself captivated by tales such as this, think about subscribing to remain engaged. Activate notifications to be among the first to uncover the release of a new episode. Your encouragement through likes and comments genuinely warms my heart. Your reflections and emotions strike a profound chord within me, igniting inspiration for my own path. Your support motivates me to share my thoughts with greater openness. I truly appreciate it. I eagerly anticipate the opportunity to unveil the next chapter alongside you.